The pregame conference is the first chance an umpire crew gets to set the tone for the entire game. Done well, it demonstrates professionalism, confidence, and control. But to do it right, it's not just about what gets said at the plate meeting. Our presence starts being felt the moment we walk onto the field. From how the crew enters together, to how we carry ourselves during the pregame conference, and all the way through getting to our positions as the home team takes the field. All of that matters. So in this video, we're going to break down the purpose, structure, and timing of the pregame conference in high school baseball and why those details matter. Then in part 2, we'll take a closer look at the specific content that must be covered during the plate meeting itself and the final steps between the pregame conference and the first pitch. Hey everyone, Patrick Farber here with GHSA Baseball Umpire Development and Umpire Classroom, where we help umpires develop their knowledge and skills. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and you can find more educational content at umpireclassroom.com. And this lesson is supported by the National Association of Sports Officials, which you can learn more about and join in the video description. Let's get started. The plate meeting is where an umpire crew sets the tone for the game and shows that they are a cohesive unit, just like the teams do on the field. Because of that, umpires should always enter the field together as a crew using the same entrance. According to the NFHS umpire manual, the crew should be entering the field approximately 10 minutes before the scheduled game time. Once you step onto the field, go directly towards home plate and prepare to assume your positions for the plate meeting. Now, if the area around the plate is not available yet, for example, if teams are still taking infield or there's a pregame ceremony going on, then stand just off to the side, but stay near the dirt circle around home. The key is to look intentional and organized, not wandering. What's important is that we avoid congregating near dugouts and avoid engaging in prolonged conversations with coaches or players. We should avoid looking too friendly with one team or the other, both on our way to home plate and while waiting to start the pregame conference. Even casual interactions can quickly create an unnecessary perception of familiarity with one team versus the other, and we want to avoid that. Even if you have known a coach for years or are familiar with players or families involved in the game, this is not the time for conversation. Be polite, say hello if needed, but move on and focus on the game. If you know where the game balls are located, the plate umpire can pick them up on the way in, usually from the home team dugout. If the baseballs are ready and quickly available, go ahead and have them handed to your plate umpire. If they are not readily available, then just go straight to the plate meeting. Once the meeting concludes, then you can request that the home coach bring you the baseballs. This avoids unnecessary interaction that can make it look like an extended conversation with the home team. And it's important that if you are going to get baseballs on the way in, do not enter the dugout to get them. They should be brought out to us, and we should not enter a team's dugout. At the pregame conference, the plate umpire should position themselves at the point of home plate in foul territory. All base umpires, regardless of the size of the crew, should line up on the opposite side of home plate in fair territory. Whether you are working in a 2-umpire crew or a larger one, this positioning creates a clean, professional look. For the plate umpire, your mask should be off, and for all umpires, sunglasses should be removed. When the coaches arrive, make eye contact, shake hands, and introduce yourself and your partners. Umpires should also make it a priority to know the coaches' first names. Being able to address a coach by their first name helps communication throughout the game.
Terry.
In turn, we expect the coaches to address us by our first names.
Tommy, you got everything out?
This establishes a professional yet familiar relationship between umpires and coaches, helping to humanize our presence and interactions. Now, at the varsity level, a good habit is to look up the coaches' names online beforehand and write them down on a note card. At lower levels, this may not always be possible, so pay close attention when coaches introduce themselves at the plate meeting. Understand that this is a professional meeting, and being on a first-name basis does not make it casual. It helps establish mutual respect and clear communication while still reinforcing that this is a business-like interaction. At the plate meeting, your demeanor should be calm, respectful, and to the point. Avoid jokes and small talk. The goal here is to establish credibility before the game starts. Now, let's talk about the timing of the plate meeting. One thing umpires need to remember is that the scheduled start time is not the time for your plate meeting. The scheduled start time is when the game is supposed to begin. As Rule 4-1-5 states, the game begins when the umpire calls play after all infielders, the pitcher, the catcher, and the batter are in position to start the game. To hit that scheduled start time, a lot has to happen before that point. That can include warm-up pitches and the offense taking the field, a national anthem, lineups being announced, and of course the pregame conference itself. So your plate meeting needs to be completed well before the scheduled start time so that the game can actually start on time. So we should follow the manual advice and walk on the field roughly 10 minutes before the scheduled start time. Hopefully this gets the conference started approximately 5 minutes prior to the game, as instructed in Rule 2-10-2. And note that when you go out and take your positions at home plate, you shouldn't need to go track down the coaches. At the high school level, when coaches see the umpires in position, they know that means it is time to head out for the plate meeting. Now the rulebook also tells us who should be involved in the pregame conference. It says a pregame conference is a meeting involving the umpires, both head coaches, and team captains if available. In reality, at the high school level, it's almost always just the umpires and head coaches. Don't be surprised if no players show up for the meeting. If anything, it's more likely to have a ceremonial team captain who attends, but definitely not likely to have players. And really, regardless of who comes out with the head coach, you'll introduce yourself to those individuals as you do the coaches, but other than that, a team captain will have no role during the pregame conference. Who does matter at the plate meeting is the head coaches. Rule 3-2-4 requires the head coach to attend the pregame conference if available. The penalty for refusing to attend is that the head coach will be restricted to the dugout for the remainder of the game. So by rule, this meeting is for the head coaches. That said, we do need to use common sense as we are instructed to do so in the rulebook and the casebook. The rulebook specifically tells us that a head coach is excused from the pregame conference if they are unable to attend because they are tending to a sick or injured player. The casebook then expands on that guidance and includes situations where the coach is physically unable to be there for legitimate reasons. That can include being delayed in traffic and not yet arriving at the game yet. It can also include situations where the coach is serving as an assistant athletic director and is handling responsibilities at another field before returning. So use common sense here. Do not pull a coach away from something that is more important, or at least as important, as the pregame conference, and don't punish a coach because physics says they cannot be in two places at once. In those cases, it is perfectly acceptable for an assistant coach to represent the team at the plate meeting. Once the head coach returns to the field, they would resume their normal head coaching responsibilities for the rest of the game. What this rule is really designed to prevent is a head coach refusing to attend the plate meeting simply because they do not want to deal with the umpire crew or because they're choosing to do something less pressing like field preparation or other non-urgent tasks. Those situations do not excuse skipping the pregame conference. One important note regarding timing is what the rulebook requires during the pregame conference. The definition of the pregame conference in 2-10-2 states that while it is in progress, all other team personnel must remain in their dugout, bench, or bullpen until the plate meeting has concluded. That means this meeting should not be happening while one team is still taking infield or while players are warming up in the outfield. The field should be clear so the meeting can be conducted cleanly and efficiently. So now that we've reviewed the rules and manual, let's jump into the case plays. Case play number 1. According to the NFHS umpire manual, at approximately what time should the umpire crew walk onto the field? A, at the scheduled game time, B, 5 minutes before game time, C, 10 minutes before game time, D, 15 minutes before game time. The correct answer here is C, 10 minutes before game time. The NFHS umpire manual instructs us to go onto the field approximately 10 minutes before the scheduled game time. That timing allows us to conduct the pregame conference, handle any lineup introductions or national anthem, allows for warm-ups, and should still have us ready to start the game with the first pitch at the scheduled game time. Case play number 2. During the pregame conference, which of the following pictures depicts proper positioning for the umpires? Select all that apply. The correct answers are graphic A and graphic E. Regardless of the crew size, the plate umpire will always position at the point of home plate in foul territory. All base umpires, whether there is 1, 2, 3, or more, will line up on the opposite side of the plate in fair territory. This positioning creates a clean, professional look and shows the crew is organized and unified. Case play number 3. While walking onto the field for the pregame conference, the plate umpire should enter the home team dugout to retrieve the game balls. True or false? The correct answer is false. Umpires should avoid entering a team's dugout at all times. Doing so can create the perception that the umpire is overly comfortable or too familiar with one team, particularly the home team, and we want to avoid that entirely. If the baseballs are ready and easily available as you walk onto the field, then the plate umpire may go and pick them up on his way to the plate meeting. However, if the baseballs are not readily available, the correct approach is to go directly to the plate meeting. Once the pregame conference has concluded, the plate umpire can then request that the home coach or the ball boy bring the baseballs out. This avoids unnecessary interaction and keeps the focus where it belongs on running a clean pregame conference. Case play number 4. How should umpires address coaches throughout the game? A. Coach. B. Manager. C. By first name. D. By last name. E. Boss man. The correct answer here is C. By first name. We should make an effort to establish a first name basis with coaches, starting either through pregame research or by paying attention during the plate meeting introductions. In return, we expect the coaches to address us by our first names as well. Using first names helps humanize the relationship and builds familiarity and trust. That matters because most umpires are going to see the same coaches for years. In fact, if you officiate longer than 4 years, which I hope you do, you will likely work with a coach longer than that coach works with any individual player. Building those professional relationships early is important for long-term success. Case play number 5. The head coach of the visiting team has not yet arrived at the game site when the pregame conference is scheduled to begin. What is legal and how does it impact the head coach once he arrives? Is this A, the game cannot start until the head coach arrives? B, an assistant coach may attend the plate meeting and assume head coach responsibilities until the head coach arrives? C, an assistant coach may attend the plate meeting and assume head coach responsibilities for the entire game? D, the athletic director may attend the plate meeting. The correct answer is B. We are not going to delay the game simply because the head coach has not arrived. An assistant coach may attend the pregame conference and assume head coach responsibilities until the head coach arrives. Because the head coach did not refuse to attend the plate meeting and was simply just not physically present at the game site, there is no restriction applied. Once the head coach arrives, he resumes normal head coaching responsibilities for the remainder of the game. Case play number 6. Which of the following are valid reasons for a head coach to miss the pregame conference without being restricted to the dugout? Select all that apply. A, attending to an injured player. B, personal dislike of one of the umpires. C, watching a pitcher warm up in the bullpen. D, throwing batting practice in the cages. E, assisting another sporting event in the role of an athletic director. F, preparing the field. The correct answers are A and E. Attending to an injured player is a valid reason, particularly since most high school players are minors and the coach has responsibility for their safety and well-being. Assisting another sporting event in the role of an athletic director or assistant athletic director is also a valid reason. In those cases, the coach may have school-wide responsibilities that take priority, and it's reasonable for an assistant coach to attend the pregame conference in those instances. Now, all the other options listed do not outweigh the importance of the pregame conference. Player warm-ups, field preparation, or personal feelings toward the umpire crew are not valid reasons to skip the plate meeting. Case play number 7. Which of the following locations are legal for players while the pregame conference is taking place? Select all that apply. A, dugout. B, bullpen. C, throwing in the outfield. D, taking infield. E, shagging balls. F, restroom. The correct answers are dugout, bullpen, and restroom. The definition of the pregame conference makes it clear that players are not permitted on the field during the meeting. That includes throwing in the outfield, taking infield, or shagging balls. That said, the bullpen is permitted even if it's located on the field, and players may, of course, be in the dugout. Also, while not listed in the rulebook, we don't need to ensure every team player is in the bullpen or dugout, so a player being in the restroom is fine, at least so long as the restroom isn't on the field. So now we've covered the purpose, structure, and authority of the plate meeting. The next step is handling the required elements of the conference itself. So in the next video, we'll walk through exactly how to handle lineup cards, equipment confirmation, ground rules, and sportsmanship step by step. So as always, if you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to our channel and find more umpire training at umpireclassroom.com or in Referee Magazine. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the field.